from CBS 17 News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Russ Bowen.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. We'll get back to Judge Judy in just a moment.
But first, we are expecting an update from authorities on the deadly natural gas explosion in Durham. It looks like they are starting. Let's take a listen in.
Chief Chris Iannuzzi to give you guys an update on the situation. His last name is spelled Iannuzzi. Also have behind me Durham Fire Chief Robert Zoldos for questions. His last name again is Zoldos. Also have Deputy City Manager Bo Ferguson with me as well. And that is Ferguson. After Iannuzzi comes up, I'll come back and give you guys some update on the road closures as well and other things. All right.
Good morning. Just going to quickly recap the events of yesterday and then go into what's going on this morning and we're going on throughout today. Yesterday morning at 9:38, the fire department was dispatched to the 100 block of North Duke Street, the area right behind me. The Durham Fire Department's Engine Company 1 arrived to find a significant gas leak and then requested additional resources from Dominion Energy, PSNC, which is a subsidiary of Dominion Energy. They started an evacuation in cooperation with the Durham Police Department. 8 to 10 people were evacuated from the building prior to the explosion, which occurred at 10:07 a.m. There were a total of 17 injuries, including 6 critical cases that were transported to area hospitals by Durham County EMS. 9 firefighters were injured, with 1 seriously hurt. All firefighters are doing okay, and we expect all to be released from the hospital today. There was 1 fatality, the owner of the Caffeinate coffee shop, and we want to express our condolences to the family and the friends of him because we know this is a very difficult time for them. This morning, at least also involved there, at least 15 buildings have been identified as being damaged, with the explosion building sustaining catastrophic damage, and all the other buildings are being reevaluated today for reoccupancy. What's going on today and right now? First off, safety is a major concern because of the possibility of additional structural collapse, as well as the potential for hazardous materials being on site. There'll be a lot of dust and debris that's getting stirred up. There is an ongoing search for possible victims. There is no indication that anyone is trapped. You may have seen there are search dogs on the site. They're being used by the SBI. They'll be being used throughout the day. We're considering this a recovery effort because we did run surface scans last night. The state's Urban Search and Rescue Team, along with the Durham Fire Department component of that, was here. They also did technical searches yesterday. They found no indication of additional victims. And again, we have no reports of missing people. The investigation is being conducted by the Durham Fire Department Fire Marshal's Office, the Durham Police Department, the State Bureau of Investigation, the State Fire Marshal's Office, and the ATF. They'll be running, the dogs will be checking, they'll be removing layers of the building at a time, then they'll recheck, and they'll remove layers until they get down as part of the investigation. Traffic operations, we're continuing to clear the roads in this area. The surrounding blocks so we can open them as we're able to. But right now, still approximately 2 blocks out, they may run into traffic detours. As far as reoccupancy of the surrounding buildings is concerned, we're in the process of working with the building owners to reoccupy those buildings. For people who are looking for information on when they can reoccupy and whether they can get back into those buildings now to at least retrieve belongings, they can call. I'm going to give you a number. It's 919-560-4427, extension 29600. There is damage assessment also ongoing through buildings throughout the area. As I mentioned, there were at least 15 buildings that, as of this morning, we knew had been damaged. And we are looking at all opportunities to assist the business owners and the residents with reoccupying those buildings. And I believe that's all I've got right now. So you have some questions. Did you have anything you wanted to add? No? All right, I'll answer any questions you got.
Why was the cafe and coffee shop not evacuated sooner?
It was evacuated as soon as they got there. They started the evacuation process. We were successful in evacuating all but one person, and but out of respect for the family, we're not going to discuss the details surrounding that while he was still there.
Can you identify the contractor that was doing that?
I believe the contract has been identified. I don't have that information right now.
We have it.
Okay. You do have it?
No,
okay.
We do not have it.
Okay.
You can offer it to us.
I do not have that right now. It'll be something we'll have to get to you.
Can you break down the people that were injured? You mentioned the number of firefighters. Who else was injured?
Civilians that were the people. There were some people, from what I understand. There was you might have seen there was a Carolina livery bus that had been coming down the street. They were injured. People in offices around here, as well as the people that had evacuated but had not cleared the area completely before the explosion occurred.
You know, you mentioned the owner of the business. There was a Facebook post at 10:05 a.m., just 2 minutes before the explosion. Mm-hmm. Do you know if the owner of the coffee shop was still inside at the time of the explosion?
He was inside at the time of the explosion. I don't know anything about that Facebook post, so I can't comment on that.
You mentioned 9 firefighters. Are those 9 part of the 17 that were injured?
No. There was one of them was firefighter Darren Wheeler, who was the one that was initially reported as being injured, underwent some surgery, and is expected to be released today. He was part of that 17. The other 8 were later sent to the hospital to be checked out to make sure they were going to be all right.
So just to be clear, there were 25 people total injured, 17 plus 8 of them.
Plus 8 more.
Can you elaborate on the extent of your firefighters' injuries?
I don't really want to go into more of that because we haven't discussed it with them to find out if they, would authorize us to give out information. All I can tell you is that they're going to be fine.
Can you elaborate just very, on their bravery? They were very close to this explosion, either at the time or very
Six of them were right there in the vicinity of the blast and incurred injuries that would be consistent with being in a blast, and that's what they were evaluated for. And as mentioned, the one firefighter Wheeler underwent surgery and is going to be fine. But that's all I'm authorized to provide you as far as the extent of his injuries.
You want to talk about just their heroic actions in being there yesterday?
Absolutely. And one thing I don't know if it is clear after that evacuation. They got those people out. There was one person still inside the building when the explosion occurred. They got firefighter Wheeler out of the area because they found him. They got two of the gas worker and one of the workers that was working on the site. They got them to safety after that explosion, and then also the person that was trapped. When I got here, they were actively working with the fire taking place right next to them to get them out.
They always say call before you dig. Were those utilities marked?
Actually, I'm going to jump in just for 1 second. You gave me the opportunity to talk about the heroics of our people, and I definitely want to trumpet that today. Several of the people that were injured by the concussion of the blast wave and struck by fragmentation continued rescue efforts until relieved on scene. I didn't understand completely the story on that until I spoke to all of them. I visited every one of them in the hospital yesterday, and several of them were making rescues even after being injured, lacerated, and so forth after the explosion. So very extremely proud of the great work of the firefighters of the Durham Fire Department. And again, they continue work even after they were involved. They were victims of the explosion themselves.
Can you tell us a little bit more about kind of their spirits, how they're doing?
Sure. So I visited all of them in the hospital yesterday. All doing great. They're obviously troubled by the fact we couldn't rescue everybody. That's always a trying thing for anyone in emergency services. We expect even firefighter Wheeler to be released today, and he's in good spirits. He had a line of people coming to see him yesterday afternoon, so we were happy about that. His family was with him, so things were good. Could have been a lot worse for the first responders, because as they're going into the emergency, the blast went off, and as we were starting the evacuation, I do want to point out that 8 to 10 people were in the coffee shop, and without the incredible work of our firefighters to get them out immediately, they would have also perished inside the building. So it's not as dramatic as pulling someone out of a fire, but the result is exactly the same. Those 8 to 10 people are alive today for that.
Can you describe the evacuation process and how it was that Mr. Lee was still in the coffee shop? I mean, is it voluntary, or was you telling him to get out?
I can't go into all of it, but what I can say is that when firefighters do an evacuation, we go door to door, and because time is of the essence, we send firefighters to all of the buildings that you see and told everyone to leave. Because of how speedy it is, there was no time for anyone to say, hey, we need to make sure. But we went in and did our best to get everyone outside of the building.
Can you speak to any participating in rescues at all? We heard a few accounts of some civilians attempting to.
There was a lot of people helping out on the street, which is normal for an emergency like this because, that first engine company that's here that's involved in the blast themselves get overwhelmed quickly. But with that said, the stories I'm relaying to you about their continued operation after being injured, I know firsthand because I spoke with the firefighters.
Were there any children involved?
Children involved as the victims? I don't have any notes on that, I'm sorry.
Chief, you said it could have been a lot worse. What have you learned from this experience?
As far as fire department operations?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm extremely proud of how the fire department operated on this scene. We were notified, responded immediately, got on scene, determined the course of action, and immediately pushed that out, including putting firefighters at major risk. And they were successful in removing all but one person. So I think there's some operational things from the big picture. This type of incident doesn't happen often. And so I think as a city, we learn from that. But I think operationally, there's very little that I'm concerned about if it happened again tomorrow.
Chief, we've seen debris kind of all over the place. I'm
Sure.
sure you've had reports of debris all over the place. We were 7 floors up on a parking garage, and there were,
Sure.
Some pieces of window. How far out have you seen, the damage and the debris from this explosion?
Sure. We've seen several blocks of range of everything from flying glass to pieces of fragments of the building. I don't know if we have a total distance for you yet. Again, we still have our assessment teams out reevaluating buildings, so we're going to know more and more of that as we move throughout the day.
Were any of the injured people in the vehicles that are still in the roadway?
Yes. Several were injured on the bus behind us, and actually, I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, the bus is gone. I'm sorry. The bus that was there yesterday, several were injured on the bus through flying glass and everything else.
Was that a public business bus?
It was a private bus.
Private bus. You mentioned that this 15 buildings affected. Did this gas line supply natural gas to those 15 buildings?
Well, the buildings we're talking about now were damaged due to the explosion itself. The gas line affected a good bit of the downtown. I don't know exactly where. When we ended up cutting it off, it took a while because of how big the system was. So, but no, when we're talking about damage, we're talking about actually the explosive damage.
Do you guys know when the
Walked up about the parking of utilities. Is there any indication that those utilities were marked or were they unmarked?
Yes, please.
Hi, Bo Ferguson, Deputy City Manager. So obviously, a great deal of interest and concern over whether or not any construction activity that was going on at the time was appropriate, whether or not the utilities were marked. We've obviously started that investigation yesterday. It's going to take some time because it's obviously very sensitive to make sure we get it right before we release that. We want to make sure we understand all the facts before we release that. We are looking at that now. Some of that information is only going to be available once we're able to see the scene. We've also got people researching any utilities that were in the area. We certainly don't want to name anyone unless we're sure that they were doing work in the area. So at this time, we're not releasing any information about that.
Sir, can you give us a rough estimate, though, from the time the construction company likely hit that gas line to the time the fire department was called? How much space was
Again, we just know when the 911 call came into us, and we were on scene just a couple minutes after that. So the distance between the time when it was struck and then we don't know.
Did the construction company realize what they had done, or did they smell it?
Again, most people that are directly involved with that were injured, and so we haven't had time to really break that down. Our investigators will be looking at that specifically.
Right now, why are we not able to release the name of the contractor doing the work in this community?
Yep. Because Sure, because we haven't confirmed that yet. So what we know for sure is who was permitted to work in the area. Those permits give them permission to come in without necessarily notifying us exactly the day and time they're starting work. So we wouldn't have information specifically reported to us about who was working on the street today, and until we can confirm that, we're not going to release it.
So the contractor was not on scene with you when fire crews and Dominion Energy crews arrived?
When all of those crews arrived, they were singly focused on responding to the emergency at hand, not starting the investigation. The investigation is ongoing now. Equipment that we find, evidence that we find will certainly inform decisions about who was here and who was responsible, but at the time they showed up, they were only interested in effecting the rescue and response.
Just so I understand, you're basically saying you don't know who the contractor is?
We will know, and we have information that we are following up on, but until we can confirm it, we're not going to release it. I don't have all the information about all the permits that may have been active. There may be multiple, and so that's one of the reasons we don't want to release, because we want to make sure how many permits might have been active at the time, and until we know that, we're not going to release it.
There are specific pieces of evidence that you found here that has helped the investigation, or the pieces of evidence that you have not found that you're waiting to find?
We have not gotten that far in the investigation yet.
Well, the investigation is ongoing. Does it appear that the crews followed the proper protocol?
We won't know that until the end of the investigation.
And what was Mr. Lee doing at the time of the blast?
Our last known, we'd spoken to him at the doorway because we informed him why we're evacuating his store. And our last known location was him in the doorway prior to the explosion.
So you did speak with him, and you told him to evacuate?
We spoke with everyone inside his business, including him, and said that we were recommending evacuation of the structure, and we got everyone else out but him.
Do you know what time that was that you spoke with him?
It was seconds before, because the crews had turned to move on when the explosion happened.
So 10:06.
Sure. Yes. But,
Chief, this
yeah.
may be semantic. When you say recommend evacuation, I mean, do you say get out?
No, we go in, again, with time of the essence, we don't make a major case for it. We go in and say, you need to evacuate the structure immediately because of whatever the incident is, and that's what our people did.
I understand he was pretty well known in the community. Did you know him personally?
No, man, I'm relatively new. I've only been here since November, so I don't know everyone yet, but I'm working on that. No, I don't.
We've seen different images of the building. Can you just kind of clarify exactly where that line is in correlation to the front entrance of Kaepernick?
Where the line?
Where they hit, where the gas line.
Yeah, I don't know that we have that down for you, that we can share it yet. I don't think we know it to that level. So.
How about the other
I think we're gonna end questions here, but I do want to have some other business before we get out of here. I want to mention the road closures here if I could. Our local folks, please help us get the information out as far as tweeting and also news information. We have Gregson at Trinity still closed, Duke at Fernway, Morris at Fernway, Great Jones at Morgan, Duke at Chapel Hill, Duke at the 147 on-ramp, and Duke at Jackson. So the parking garage at Morgan and Fuller is open for people to come get their cars, but they can't pass the red tape. It's actually a collapse zone where the tape is. The parking lot in the corner of Morgan and Gregson is not open for people to get their cars at this time. Also, I want to mention, as far as GoFundMe's goes, if our residents could please be mindful if those are actually legitimate, the ones they're sending funds to and not fraudulent. We're going to end it right here. We're not sure at this time if we're going to have a briefing today. We'll let you guys know well in advance, though, if we do.
Do you know how long the road closed? I know this is a huge job for obviously everybody. Are we talking at least a couple of days? Do we have any idea as far as road closures go?
So what we're trying to do as the investigation gets more narrow, we're removing more evidence from the building across the street and so forth, we'll be able to open up more and more. We don't have a timeline yet. It really comes down to how fast our investigators work.
One other question before you go that I had is, do you anticipate by the end of this that any of these surrounding buildings are going to have to be demolished other than the two at the center of it?
Well, again, so we were saying they're not, that you cannot reoccupy at this time. A lot of that has to do with how close they are to the collapse itself. We're worried about secondary collapses all the time and those sort of things. I think most are going to be able to be reoccupied, and we're looking forward to being able to do that, some of that today. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we've just had a news briefing after yesterday's tragedy, a fatal gas explosion in downtown Durham. Just a few new things that we've learned today. The total of those who were injured is now at 25. 16 of those civilians, 9 of those firefighters, including the firefighter who we learned yesterday had to have surgery. But the good news with the firefighters is that they are all being released from the hospital today.
Yes, some other new information we've just learned from that is now they are saying 15 buildings in that surrounding area were damaged. Originally, they said 5, but again, now it is 15. Crews are evaluating other buildings in the surrounding area to see if they were damaged significantly and to see when people are going to be able to go back inside. So we will have much more coming up in our new newscast.